Alright, happy Wednesday, everybody. It is December 6th, 2023, and you're at precisealgorithmtrading.com. And that's unless you got through our YouTube channel, and I think that's at Dave D Trade. But that's on the website, and yeah, really focusing on where this all is in our website at precisealgorithmtrading.com. So let's look at our equity curve for our automated trading system in the Dow futures. And we got a little bit of a pullback here going on, and our trades today, 12.6, were 3 negative trades. So, okay. Looking for really to probably this is going to take a little bit, but hopefully climb pretty quick. So, let's see. This is our modified Russell that I'm implementing and still doing a little bit of work on. So, but that's the one I'm going to refer to going forward. So, it was up today, and this is where you diversify so you have multiple systems. So that one's a winner, but not by much. So 2 at 1500 negative, and positive of 1335, and then a positive of 465 puts it up just a little bit. So a couple $100. Then the Nasdaq is been on a pullback lately. After a little rally here, we need to get this thing back up to these highs, and I am confident that will happen. And this thing trades a little bit more often, so here are the trades for the day. Mostly losers, couple of okay winners in there, and then we had this couple of losers toward the end of the day, um, or at least the middle of the day. So again, we just need to be patient, and the same math that got us through this will get us through this. All right, moving to the charts in the S&P 500. So this is the SPX, and I drew this box in. I mean, it's two levels really, but sure looks like we're falling. Uh, During the morning hours, I drew in this upward sloping diagonal line, really connecting my pivot uh, marks, and all it is just connecting these lows. And when it broke solidly through that, um, I'd say that's a pretty good indication that we're going to break through this line here. I don't know how far we're going to go, but I've got a short position on, which is actually SPXU with a similar. I mean, it's just the inverse. So it goes up when the other one goes down, and I set a stop right underneath the lowest low here, just a hair under it, and we'll see what happens. So that's it. If nothing else, it's a hedge, but hopefully, it ends up being a win while I have other things pulling back and some other things that are going to be still winners as well. So that's that. Let's look at the Dow, which was down 70 points today, and similar looking creature. Very bullish lately, so I mean, don't discount that. And the bullish percent indexes have been up, so I'm not expecting necessarily, unless everything rolls over, uh, I'm not expecting this thing to just free fall. I don't know what happened there, but let's look at Russell. It's pulling back. So the general markets are a good place to either be short or on the sidelines right now. IYT, it actually went up today. My stop for IYT is above 255.70, which is that high right there. So if I'm wrong, I will get out. If I'm right, then I'll look for see what happens when it gets down to this mark here and where my position is. Possibly even take profit there, just because there's no reason to sit around if you have a profit, especially in a bullish market. So if you're bearish, I mean. So Nasdaq, it looks pretty bearish as well. And let's go look at this over here. So this is the Nasdaq. This is the same kind of thing as the S&P. I'll put the S&P in here. And this is that zone that I drew up here. So we're looking for really a pullback into the middle of these purple lines, if not, down into the lower zone, which would be a nice place for a potential reversal when it gets down there. If you notice, well, it happened here. We go from the lower zone all the way up to the upper zone and then some. Here we go from the lower zone to the midline. Here we went from the lower zone to beyond the midline. Here we went from beyond the midline to the lower zone. That's, if you haven't noticed, that's how markets move. Lower zone took a long time but got to the upper zone. Upper zone here took a while but got down to the lower zone. Those are trading systems, by the way. They have to be vetted and you have to have like rules behind them. But here's one where we got down to the lower zone, went all the way up to the upper zone. It just barely, in fact, may not have even ticked the lower zone, but really close. There you go, upper zone, lower zone, back to the mean, back to the lower zone, back to the mean, back to it didn't quite make the lower zone. So there's a lot to be learned from just looking at that. Alright, I'm going to get off this and move over to oil, which is still falling. And I've been saying there's no reason for me to get along here, so there still isn't. Not even, I was thinking about jumping into a potential position if we got something going on the hourly chart, but even the USO, there's nothing close even on the hourly chart. So, alright, moving to the bullish percent indexes, and then they'll get out of here. Here's the industrials. They didn't move today. The NYA up 0.35% today. The transports down 9.09% today. The Nasdaq up 1.11% today. The S&P tacked on a new X but only went up 0.29%. And the OEX tacked on a new X and went up 3.12%. And the INDX down 1.37%. So the markets are looking like they're toppy right here, at least very short term. So that's what I got. Hope it helps. Take care, good trading, and have a great night.